All right, welcome again to another edition of the Quick Win Clinic. I'm looking at a page submitted by Teresa, and I'll share it with you just by scrolling down so you can get a sense of the sort of flow. And I'll also point out there's some things here that are good. It's pretty clear what you do here, and I'll just make a note sort of circling this piece. That's good. You give me a sense of that. And there's images that seem to be actually valuable. They give me some sense of what this might look like were I to engage you. You have some key text that's organized with a sort of flow, and there's an eye path through the text. I'd say all of these are good points. So the question becomes, how do you take a reasonably good page and make it better? Well, let's start at the top. One of the things you've done in this piece is you have helped me understand what I can do here. Not super well, but well enough to be interested, maybe well enough to engage with the text that follows below. But there are three critical questions that you've got to answer at the top of every page. The first one is, where am I? That really implies, am I in the right place? Should I spend any more time here? Is this what I expected when I clicked through? The next question is, what can I do here? And if that isn't clear, we stumble around the page trying to make meaning, and you lose so many people that way. And the third question is, why should I do it? Now, the why connects to a much stronger question that we answer in the value proposition question that we teach in some of our courses. But let's look at the where and the what and the why for a moment and say, okay, I think I know where I am. If I'm familiar with this brand, and I think the typical prospect probably is, then I might know where I am. And I think I know what? A turnkey, hyper-targeted, revenue-building content marketing program. Okay, so you're offering me some sort of program. It's focused probably in this industry, and it's a content marketing program. Well done. You've also said be a thought leader and expert. That's interesting. I'd like to be a thought leader and an expert, and I'd like somebody to help me become one. But you've failed to answer the most important question, the one that drives the most people through the funnel, the one that will get the highest possible response rate. I'm going to circle that question. It's not the what, it's the why. I know what, I know where, but I don't know the why. Why should I consider you rather than anyone else? You said you have a turnkey, hyper-targeted, revenue-building, content marketing. There's a lot of adjectives there, and they all imply value, but they don't imply any sort of only factor. So Teresa, if there was one thing, one clear point I could make that could help not only you, but everyone listening and watching this little program, it's this. Until this page has an only factor, it'll never perform at its highest level. There is no only factor here. The words EST, you say, what is that about? Largest, fastest. Those are claims. You can't make those claims, but you can demonstrate them with facts. Actually, I think I see the value proposition, but it's not apparent unless you're an expert and you're working to find it. I would imagine that the speciality of these industries, the actual content you have access to, you may be the only group that can do what you do in this particular and very targeted, very limited field. If that's the case, you need to communicate it to me in a way that is absolutely credible and absolutely clear. So, only factor. Every single person watching this with me, if your page isn't communicating an only factor in the first 4 to 6 inches, it's failing to do what it must do most of all. I'm going to say that again, Kenny. So everyone watching this, let me point out for you a simple but important fact. If your page in its first 6 inches isn't emphasizing an only factor, you're losing business. You're leaking revenue. And Teresa, that's the number one thing you can do to make this page perform better. Now, one point to Teresa and anybody else that submits their pages. We want to help you. The point isn't simply to be a critic, but to help you get the right creative. So once you've been reviewed like this, if you want to submit your new versions to us, if you want to get some coaching from our team, let us know. And because you've been a great sport and worked with us here, we're going to try to help you get a better performing page. Thank you, and submit your pages to the address on the screen.